So now that your categories are set up, let's jump into the fun stuff. Content creation. As you start to go throughout MeetEdgar, you'll notice there's a few ways to create content. Today we're going to look at the manual content creation when you click to add new content here. The first thing you're going to come to as our composer is to check off the accounts you'd like this piece of content to go out to. If something over here is not checked off, Edgar will never send it there. So make sure that you are always assigning the proper permissions to your actual social media accounts that this will go out to. Our recommendation at Edgar is you do want to make sure you're amplifying your message to each platform. So if it's appropriate, go ahead and get the most out of that piece of content by checking off all that accounts. If you've created your categories to be something like an Instagram specific category, if it has language or hashtags that you only use there, then you'll only check off Instagram. You see how it's done. Then you're going to select the category, so the type of post, and then you're going to write your post in this section. You can, of course, attach a video or a photo from your computer with these icons in the lower left corner. If you have a link URL within this section, you'll notice this gray box appears, letting you know a link preview has been established. So when this piece of content sends to Facebook, it'll go ahead and show as a link preview people can click on and drive more traffic to your site. If you're wondering what this will look like on the actual social network, just pop over to this preview tab and you're able to see it there. In the editor in Edgar, we've got a couple of things that I love to point out. One of them is if you don't want to send a link preview and you'd rather send just a link and a photo, you can actually X out of this link preview, add a photo from your computer, or you'll notice we have suggested images here. These are being pulled from the blog post link as the photos that are in that you can just click on to add as a static photo to send. Super simple to start testing whether people click more on the link or the link preview, or if you just want to get another photo there. Another thing I love to point out, especially if you're using the composer to send links, is our variations feature. So variations were built specifically for Twitter so that you are able to make sure that you are staying in compliance with their term of service that says you cannot send the same tweet to the same Twitter account more than once. However, here at MeetEdgar, you know we stress evergreen content, writing your status updates in a really intentional way that they can be shared no matter what time of year it is so that new followers to your communities can engage with them, as well as those who didn't have the opportunity to engage with it the first time. So if you'd like to reshare a blog post on Twitter, what you're going to need to do is add a little variety to the language because Edgar is set up to keep you in compliance with their term of service and to expire content once it's sent out. So if you do this manually and you click to manually add a variation, Edgar will pop up a second text box where you're able to enter in a different introduction to this blog post, whether it's asking your community a question, using a different headline, telling a different story. Again, you see the point there. One of the coolest features with the variations is you'll notice with a link, you also get to auto-generate variations. If I click to auto-generate variations, I'm going to get 4 different pull quotes from within that article automatically added here. Super great time saver to not only give a tip and a little teaser to the blog post to your communities, but also to make sure you're getting a bunch of posts that can be used and can be upcycled to Twitter every single time. So variations can also be used for your other social media networks. Twitter is the only one that we do have to expire it for. So these variations will be cycled through for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that fun stuff as well. So I'd love for you to jump on into your Edgar account and complete this next part of the challenge where you're going to come in, click to add new content, and start to load your categories. Remember, if you're doing tweets, one of the most efficient ways you can do this is to make sure you're putting a few variations on a post at once. If you'd like to test different language for your Facebook community, stuff like that, dive into the Add Variations feature because we track all of that kind of stuff in your History tab, and we actually show you which posts are receiving the most clicks down to the least clicks, which we'll look at later. So jump on in and start to add your content to your categories today to complete this section of the Kickstarter challenge.